Hello, it's Jared from Effortless Qigong, and I'm hanging out at a park in Montreal, and I had a pretty good day today, but I want to tune in. I just want to say hey, I want to check in with how you're doing. If you are watching this live or if you're watching the replay, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how your Qigong practice is going. So yesterday I spoke about the practice of refreshment and taking breaks and recognizing stress, and then using the techniques, the Qigong practices, whether it's turning on a Qigong video, following along, doing some self-acupressure, or doing some Qigong practice, just taking that time to de-stress and to clear that stress and tension. As I arrive in the space, I recognize it's getting dark out, so I'm kind of doing this live a little earlier than I would like, but I'm carrying personally a little stress into this moment. I just did a bit of a breathing exercise before I started this live, and some self-acupressure, some letting go, some relaxation, because I'm in like a transition, right, from being in the woods working to being back in the city to just kind of getting into the next part of everything. It's a little bit, the transition's not always super easy and effortless, but it's fine. It's healthy, it's normal. Just remember, stress is not a bad thing. What is bad is when we get stuck in it and we are unaware that it's there, or where it's there, but we're just not doing the things we know we can do to kind of get out of it. And one of the things for me that really helps is going to a park, doing Qigong and stretching. And that can be a huge, a really nice thing to do. And I was thinking, like, part of Effortless Qigong is this, for me, is to build this community, to share Qigong practice, but to also just discuss in general ways in which we as a community can clear stress from our lives. And I think that we want to clear as much of the toxic stress out of our lives as possible. It's not always easy or possible to clear everything. Some things we'll have to deal with in life. Each of us is coming from like a different place. We have different challenges, different stressors. But I think that when we start to make it known to ourselves, like what are things that are causing us stress, then we can start to work on them. And I think that is what makes life beautiful. Hey everyone, thanks for joining in. What's going on? How you feeling right now? Check in. It is actually pretty beautiful. I'll show you the sky over here. Look at that. Nice. I'm hanging out at a park, trying to unwind, or beginning to unwind after a pretty nice day. But also, work and organizing life can be challenging. And so I'm talking a bit about that. On this channel, I mostly talk about ways in which you can lower your stress. But I also think it's important to share my own journey along the way, because I'm a human. I wouldn't be doing the Qigong or meditation that I do if I didn't have stress in my life. These tools wouldn't be important. And so I think one of the things that I've learned in this practice is that it's so important to feel all that stuff, to like acknowledge that shit, and then to work with it. So, where are you? I am in Montreal. How you doing? Okay, guys. So this is Effortless Qigong. What we are doing here is we are developing the habit of practicing Qigong, and Qigong is an ancient practice which is the art of less stress, more energy. On this channel, I generally am posting routines and information videos so you can learn more about the Qigong practice. You can start to build this routine into your daily life, and you can enjoy the benefits that come from doing this practice, which are less stress, more energy. Actually, if you go on the Effortless Qigong website, you can find a list of a bunch of benefits there. Also, you can also find the free 7-day Effortless Qigong challenge, which you can sign up for, and that allows you to kind of get that initial start, where if you challenge yourself every single day to practice Qigong, you can actually start to feel what it's like to do the practice consistently. You get a little reward at the end, you feel good about it, and then you've just begun and embarked on your Qigong journey. So you can find that at effortlessqigong.com, and I think I have the link actually on my channel, so you can do that there. Let's talk about some of the ways, and I don't want to put people down there, but I don't want to hold this phone the whole time. It's going to give me a weird look, but let me know if you can hear me too. Let's talk about some of the ways that we can clear stress on a daily basis. I want to explore that. I didn't bring my tripod, so we're just kind of jerry-rigging this here. We can do something like this. Something like this. Not perfect, but it's a casual live. You can see me, you can hear me. That's all that matters, okay. All right, how can we clear stress every day? First of all, let's acknowledge that we feel it. It's normal, it's there. We're all gonna experience it. It's important to acknowledge that stress is physical. It's actually like the tightness of our muscles in our neck and shoulders. It's the way our heart is beating. This is all the physical stress. Then we have the emotional stress, you know, those feelings of frustration, anger, sadness, all that stuff that we're dealing with. Then there's like that actual feeling of pain. You know, when you're stressed, you can actually feel like a bit of a pain in your body, a discomfort, right? It turns out that when we are in a stress state, this actually is a type of pain that we can acknowledge. So from there, every day, it's so important when we realize that our stress is physical, energetic, and when our stress is physical, energetic, emotional, it's our thoughts. We want to take some time throughout the day to clear that and let it go. Okay? That's really my focus here, is how can everyone de-stress a little bit who can watch this and partake. We want to carve out 5-10 minutes a day at the start, at least, to stretch, to breathe, to do some mindful movements. And that's one of the things that I've been doing that's really changed my life in a big way. Because I used to get stuck in stress responses for very long periods of time and not know how to get out of them. And I noticed this in my family and in a lot of people around me as well. It's almost like, you know, we learn to brush our teeth because we know that plaque builds up on our teeth, but we didn't learn how to clear stress. And stress can kind of build up in our nervous system, in our organs, in our energetic system, in our muscles. And so doing a Qigong practice where we're stretching and breathing and clearing those lines of tension, and we're setting that positive intention, we're doing those mindful movements, helps us to break out of that. And I think as well as we're aging, one of the things that I've learned from my studies is that as we age, if we are still holding on to all this chronic stress, we're gonna age faster, and we're gonna age not as well as if we start to invest into clearing that stress and learning to actually how to feel good. Qigong is the practice of less stress, more energy. My teacher, Lee Holden, says this, and I think it's really true. And then with that, the idea that we are using Qigong practice to have less stress and more energy, we want to fit that into this life philosophy of, I want to live the best life possible where I am. Now, all humans at different parts of the world have different access to different qualities of life, and I acknowledge that. But chances are, if you're watching this right now, you're probably somewhere where you're relatively safe, relatively comfortable, and you can work with what you have. I think that I think that there's also this idea that we want to develop affluence in our lives, and that the healthier we feel, the more rich we actually are. So, like, your health comes first, and for a lot of us that are generally healthy, we're able to go to work and move around and do all the things we have to do throughout the day. We can refine that health that we have with a Qigong practice to feel really good. And I think that's what is so valuable with this practice. So, if you're new to Qigong, let me know. I'm kind of exploring this. Oftentimes I kind of jump into live with like a general idea of what I'm going to say. Oh, I don't know what all this stuff is. I have top fans. That's cool. Okay, can I put like a preset on this? Lighting. Weird. What is this? That is cool. And we've got this retouch. Sure. Okay, so I can't leave like a meta comment. Or maybe I can. Start a poll. Oh. Have you heard of Qigong? Yes, no. Done. Okay, that's annoying that it's right. I can't move it. Right here to end poll. That's so stupid. YouTube. Why would you make that go right in the middle of the screen? Come on, YouTube. Okay, well, whatever. Okay. Over the coming, as I keep doing these lives every single day, what's going to happen is we're going to start to build more structure into them. But right now, I'm just kind of going live, kind of doing it freestyle. I actually do have a tripod normally, so the angle isn't so terrible, but we're just kind of going with what we got. Why don't we do some, let's do some Qigong practice. I don't have like a great angle, but I need this. I feel like today was a busy day in my mind, trying to problem solve a bunch of stuff. And so I'm gonna kind of do some Qigong here. We're gonna dive in. Ugh. And I'm also excited to start to film some more routines in the future. That would be really nice. Okay, so if I'm sitting down, let's just let's tune in. I got an eye around me. Okay. Excuse me. All right, let's begin. So I'm gonna do a little bit of hi, I'm here. Hello. How are you? Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of a seated Qigong practice here. You can follow along. Thank you for that first like. Here at Effortless Qigong, we're really exploring the topic of how we can have less stress, more energy. We're talking about inner exploration. We're talking about cultivating our energy system and building a beautiful life together. So let's do that. Okay, I'm sitting down here at a beautiful park. I'm gonna do about 5 minutes of Qigong. If you wanna follow along, go ahead. But we're just gonna dive in. So what I'm gonna do to begin with is I'm gonna tune in to my body and see how I'm feeling. So I'm gonna cross my hands like this. I'm gonna place them over my belly, and I'm just gonna breathe. So I'm gonna do this for about 30 seconds. Try it and see how it feels. So cross your hands over, doesn't matter which one's on top. Place it around your belly, just below your belly button. Take a few mindful breaths. Inhale. And exhale. And start to relax your face, neck, and shoulders. And breathe. I already feel a shift, almost like a tingling moving through my whole body. Now you might not feel anything. It took me probably about 2 weeks before I first started to feel the chi, which is your life force energy, start to activate. And then it took me almost like a year of solid practice. Actually, I've been practicing for like 5 years now. And it's only really recently that I'm really starting to get like a big, obvious feeling of the chi. But I took a lot of practice, and I'll talk more about that in future videos. But you can start to feel your chi. Usually, and sometimes people feel their chi in like their first practice. Sometimes people feel it after 2 weeks of practice, and it can be very different for different people. And because we all have different bodies, different sensitivities, and the cultivation of your chi, feeling it can take a while. I used to feel pretty like nervous talking about chi because people are gonna think I'm like not a scientist, but I've spent a lot of time contemplating what chi is and reading books and doing these practices, and I still have a lot to learn. But chi is a real concept, and you can feel it, and you can harmonize your chi and feel really good in your body. It's a real thing, okay? So I'm tuning in, I'm breathing into my belly. I'm relaxing my belly, I'm trying to sit up tall, relaxing my face, neck, and shoulders. I'm also at a park, so I like to look behind me. So I'm just breathing into my belly, I'm relaxing my belly, I'm letting my thoughts quiet, and I'm focusing my mind's eye on my belly and my hand area. And I'm noticing a shift in my energy, the stress is clearing, and I feel more calm and more grounded. I just spent many months in the woods doing manual labor, planting trees. Very good money, I love being outdoors, but I can also feel the tightness and some work I need in my back from all that work. Cool, so that's like a little check-in. Now what I like to do after that, if I'm just gonna do a short seated practice, I might do some spinal cord breathing. So here I'm gonna keep my hands nice and relaxed and my elbows out to the side. And I'm gonna push you back a bit. My phone might fall off my boot. I'm just gonna inhale and open up the rib cage. And exhale, move forward. This is called spinal cord breathing. It's like a super basic, but really foundational movement to a Qigong practice. Because you're exhaling all the air out. Let you go down. And as you inhale, you're filling the lungs, opening up the rib cage. And then exhale down. So you push all the air out. And I'm gonna talk about this movement actually, because one of the things I've learned, oh my God, that feels so good. I just did 3 of them and I already feel better. So one of the things that locks in our stress is when we are not breathing. We actually, when we get stressed, something that can happen is our shoulders tighten, the ribs, and we also tend to want to, like the emotion gets stuck in a way, so we don't breathe fully. Because if we were to keep breathing nice and full and relaxed through stress, or even just mindfully, you can actually use your breath to kind of clear away stress as it comes up. But when it gets stuck in the body, or when we're working a lot, right, we tend to lose focus on our breath. We find ourselves breathing really shallow, and then we become stressed because we aren't breathing, right? So when you don't breathe well, you can feel stress and tension. And when something causes stress and tension, you might not breathe well. So this really basic movement here, spinal cord breathing, opening up the rib cage and exhaling down. And you open it up. You'll see in my routines online that I do this movement a lot. And exhale down. And inhale. And exhale down. And one more time. Exhale, arms down to the side. Cool. So I already feel a bit better just doing that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some dog wags the tail. So this is like shaking, moving the spine from side to side. I'm also going to float my head up toward the sky, move my spine from side to side. Something that we don't do in our culture is we don't talk about moving the spine in a variety of directions. And then as we get old, we get all like tight and stiff. So these little movements are really good. You know, the spine has so many little muscles and layers of muscle all supporting it and around it. And the back is a very complicated system of muscles. It's like so important that we move it in a variety of directions. So here I'm just doing dog wags the tail. Trying to create some length in the spine. Feels pretty good. And then I'm just going to do some side twists. So I'm going to look over here. And then I'm going to do it on the other side as well. Cool, so I've done some belly breathing, some spinal cord breathing, some dog wags the tail. I did like this little twist side to side. So I'm wringing out stress and tension. I'm tuning into my body and I feel better from how I started off when I came in here, because I was doing a lot of computer work and then walking through Montreal. And I personally find Montreal a beautiful city, but also a little stress inducing due to the garbage and everything. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to clear some more stress with some shaking. These are so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shake my wrists like this. Inhale through my nose. I'm going to relax through my hands and my wrists while I do this. There's tons of really great acupressure points all along the wrists, heart, and the pericardium point. Super good for clearing emotional stress. And I'm just going to do this. I'm going to sigh. Sighing in Qigong is how we let go and purge emotional stress. So inhale through the nose, sigh out of the mouth, just letting go, clearing that. One more time. And slow it down. Now what you might notice as you are doing these movements and techniques is this one in particular creates a buzzing and a tingling in the hand, because it helps to promote the qi flow or the blood flow through the hand. And when the blood flows, in Qigong theory, the blood carries the qi, okay? And also, there's always acupressure points here that we're stretching and massaging as we do those. Okay, so that feels really good. Now, you can actually do it this way too, so inhale. And you're shaking the hands loose. it looks funny, but it feels really good, to be honest. I used to notice, because I used to work with, way before I became a Qigong teacher, I used to work with people with autism and different types of cognitive abilities or impairments or disabilities. And notice that a lot of these autistic people, when they would get stressed, they would shake their hands and really move their bodies. And that's one of the ways they would actually regulate their stress. And we don't do that as neurotypical people because we just were never taught to do it intentionally. But if you even look at animals in nature, they get stressed out. Like a gazelle gets attacked by a cheetah, it escapes. What does it do? It just shakes loose, it breathes, and it's chill, right? Like they aren't carrying the stress of a situation forever. They let it go. Let's say you're in Montreal, you go up to a girl to talk to her and she rejects you. Okay, it's gonna hurt, but you can just let that go, right? Okay, so what's next? Actually, I really like these movements of the wrists for seated Qigong. So with this one, as I rotate my hand like this, you're stretching all the muscles in the hand and the tendons, and you're massaging the wrists and the joint of the hands. It feels really good. You know, we're typing a lot in society. We're always on our phones and typing. And so these little stretches are really good for improving blood flow, improving chi flow, clearing some emotional stress as well. When you just see simple little movements like this, especially when you fit it into a full Qigong routine, it feels really good. It's also good for the brain. It turns out that moving in a variety of different directions is really good for brain and learning. So I'm actually gonna bring one over the other. And you can try it. This is what you start with, right? Try this out. Can you do it? Okay, I'm doing this, and then we're gonna actually bring one over the other. So one hand is moving over the other hand, and it's a little challenging at first, but just stretch through the fingers, move those muscles, and enjoy that. Something we're also doing while we're doing a Qigong practice is we're actually bringing a smile into our body. Now, if you want right now, you can actually smile into your face, bring that smile. Notice that when you smile, even if it's subtle, you might feel a little better. Start to feel a little better. Just when you smile, it sends a signal to your brain that you can feel happy, that you can relax a little bit. And in Qigong practice, we do something called the inner smile. So we smile into our heart. And the Taoists will smile into all the organs. But just basically, you're actually intentionally letting your heart smile and to feel happy. And Qigong practice is a good time to cultivate that where you're tuning in, you're feeling into your hands, you're feeling into your joints, and you bring a little smile into the body. And you breathe. Cool, so that's a nice technique. You can also do some nice wrist circles, feel really good. Just doing the wrists themselves. Now I'm going to show you a point here on the hand called the Laogong point. This is one of the celebrity acupressure points that I think everyone should know. I'm just going to bring up a little document here as a reference as I talk about it. So how you doing? Have you tried Qigong practice before? If you haven't, or if it's new to you, you can check out my channel. Subscribe to the channel and commit this week to doing some Qigong practice because it feels amazing. So this is a pericardian point, Laogong. Cool. Okay, so what we're gonna do is the point is, it's basically right here in the palm. It's an acupressure point, and it's used a lot of the time for clearing emotions, depression, and anger. The pericardian channel is said in Chinese medicine to be the pericardian is basically a sac that surrounds the heart. And in Chinese medicine, organs have energetic qualities. And this heart protector not only protects the heart by keeping it all the heat contained and regulate the heat of the heart, but also regulating other people's energy. So what you can do is just bend your fingers like this to kind of find roughly where the point is. Where your middle finger comes down, in the center of the palm, is the Laogang point. And there's different ways you can massage acupressure points. And one of them is just press and breathe. So we'll start with that. Now, don't worry if you have the exact point on your hand. Just press into your palm right here and take some full breaths. So I'm gonna do mine for about 20 seconds on each side, and then I'll show you something else here. So find that point, center of the palm. Don't worry if it's perfect. Press in and take some full breaths. As you're breathing, just notice what you feel. For me, when I'm exploring acupressure or anything with Qigong or yoga or breathwork, I'm willing to learn the theory, but then I want to see how I actually feel. What do I actually notice? So one more full breath on this side. And I'm feeling an energetic shift. Now I'm gonna go to this hand. Again, it's that point right in the center of the palm. I'm gonna press in gently and firmly, and I'm gonna take some breaths. So again, with acupressure, it's all about exploring it. And actually noticing how you feel when you do it. That's what I think at the beginning really matters. So press into the center of the palm, gently and firmly, and take some full deep breaths, and notice that stress does actually start to clear away. All right, cool. I'm gonna show you one more acupressure point that I really like for clearing stress. Now I'm more like well-versed with Qigong. Acupressure is sort of like the leading edge of what I'm learning. Hey bald me clean, I'm behind you. Hey bald me clean, I'm behind you. Sorry, I'm reading a random comment. If you are behind me, come hang out. Okay. So we've got, I think it's pericardium 6. Why am I not seeing this? Or it's pericardium 6, yeah. Okay, so this one, what you're gonna do, have a good day, Joe Mama, as well. You go, there's this crease on your wrist here. You measure it with 3 fingers. And then at that 3rd finger, you're gonna take your thumb and you're gonna gently push in there. We're actually gonna do a little circle. So you can hold it up in front of you, do a little massage. When you massage it, you're kind of waking up and activating the acupressure point. And then we're just gonna gently press in. We're gonna hold that for about a minute on each side, and we're just going to breathe fully. So you breathe nice and full, and you can actually start to feel the effect of that acupressure point. This point for my little manual here unbinds the chest, regulates the chi, regulates the heart, calms the spirit, clears heat. It's said to be good for nausea. And it can be really good for a bunch of stuff. This point right here on the wrist is good for tons and tons of things. Now we'll go to the other side as well. You're gonna measure 3 points on the wrist. You're gonna find that spot on the wrist, and you're gonna gently press in and make a circle, massaging the wrist. Once you've done that for a minute or a little bit, we're actually gonna do 1 minute of just press into that point and take long, slow, deep breaths. All right, let's do one last little technique here in this seated Qigong practice. What we're gonna do is pulling down the sky. It's a great way to end a Qigong practice. So, I'm gonna push this back. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see the whole thing here with my boot camera. So what I'm gonna do is inhale my arms out to the side and exhale down. Exhale, hands float down. Imagine like you're clearing away stress. We'll do 3 more times. Now cross your hands over your belly. Sit tall and comfortable. Relax face, neck, and shoulders. And breathe. All right. That was a little Qigong practice. I thought I would go through that live with you guys and keep it casual, keep it talking. I feel better. So, thanks for tuning in. My name is Jared, and I am a certified Holden Qigong teacher. You can check out my channel. I've got tons of amazing free routines you can check out. Check out the website. Sign up for the Effortless Qigong free 7-day challenge. And enjoy the exploration of your own life force energy, your own body, and explore this practice with an open mind. What you will discover can radically change your life for the better, like it did mine. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening. Just know that your body is a huge mystery that you can explore, learn more about. So many amazing truths that you can uncover about your own body that you don't even know. Okay? So stay tuned. I'm back in Montreal. I don't exactly know what the next few weeks and months hold for me. If I'm coming in with some stress today, that's why, because I do contract work when I'm not teaching Qigong and building this online business. It's gonna take me a little while to do this and set everything up. I'm still learning how to market and build websites and build courses and offers and these things. I'm still deepening my Qigong and meditation practice as well. I'm certified, but we're always learning, we're always deepening, and I have ambitions that this is going to be a fantastic resource for people to learn Qigong in the West. I can't just build it overnight, okay, coming from where I am. But I'm sharing the journey, we're on this journey together. I plan on filming some routines here while I'm in Montreal, so stay tuned for those. There are going to be some great relaxation routines. I'm not quite sure which ones I'm going to do. Probably a morning routine, probably something for deep stretching, probably some seated practices. And then I also want to do some routines over the coming months of just like more subtle feeling into the body. Some of my favorite Qigong routines I've been doing from other teachers like Qigong with Kaseni, or I think it's Forest Rock Qigong, these other guys, is they're doing some very simple movements, but once you have that sense of Qi and energy, and you've kind of building up that experiential library of knowing how to feel it, figuring, because I feel like as Westerners, we tend to not want to trust our feelings, which is true. We need to be open-minded and skeptical of things, but just these slower practices actually are so nice, and they feel so good, and they're so grounding. You'll see more of that. Lee Holden's Qigong, which I'm certified in, is great. He tends to do a lot of movements and variety, but there's like thousands and thousands of Qigong techniques and Qigong teachers, and everyone's bringing in different styles and different types. And so for me as a Qigong teacher, it's so important that I'm always studying under different people, following along, learning from them. And I know over the next 10, 20 years of me teaching and learning from other people and incorporating parts of yoga and breathwork and some Western science and stuff like this, that the Qigong I'll be teaching will be world-class. And so stick around, keep following along. Qigong is one of the best investments you can make into your life. Do you want to feel good, loved, joyful, grounded? Do you want to have a clear, balanced nervous system? Then the way is Qigong. Yoga, breathwork, Qigong, these are big things coming out. You could lump all of that into Qigong if you wanted to. Now, I understand that there's different historical roots with these words, but these are all ways of working with our life force energy, working with our aliveness, with how we feel, our emotions, our bodies. And there's so many amazing discoveries and gems and emotions and energetic experiences waiting for everyone in this community as we go down this rabbit hole of exploring energy work, of stretching, breathing, exploring the breath. On this channel as well, something that I want to bring into Effortless Qigong that's a little different is I want to share book lists. So on the website, I'm creating some book lists I'm going to be sharing. I currently have one written out, and I just want to add some descriptions and some paragraphs to it of the books I listened to this summer for cultivating inner peace and love. I listened to some fantastic books and audio programs. So these are not boring audio books that you just listen to the reader's monotone. These are amazing speakers and audio programs and audiobooks that will radically change your life if you listen to them. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be making community posts about when my book lists start to go up. There'll also be book lists on like energy management, on stress management. So I want to just compile a lot of the best resources in the world into these book lists. I want to continue putting out some of the best Qigong routines I can, and building the blog too. Now, I have a lot more to say in the future, so make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're interested in learning Qigong. Make sure you enjoy a Qigong practice today or tomorrow, and I will be going live tomorrow, so I'll see you then as well. I don't have a schedule right now when I'm going live, so you can watch me live or you can tune in to the replay. All right, I hope you're staying well. Remember, your life is a gift. You are beautiful, you're loved, you're awesome, and you deserve the best in life, and I will see you tomorrow. Keep it effortless. Peace.